Hello, today for review I've got Jade Audio EW1. It's a true wireless model from the new audio company, and well, probably it's not 100% new because Jade Audio is subsidized brand by the FiiO. I'm not sure what was the purpose of creating the separate brand. Probably FiiO understand that their lineup is already too big and they've decided to move some of their products to a different brand. Currently looks like that Jade Audio will be responsible for more affordable price segment, or maybe they will move headphones and the earphones to that brand. I'm not sure about the future. We'll see. Currently on the Jade Audio's page listed two products. EW1 is first, and second one is some Bluetooth receiver that reminds FiiO's micro BTR probably, or BTR not one. It looks like BTR 3, but specs wise it's closer to micro BTR. Well, it's not important too. I will put a link to these true wireless earphones into the description. Price is now it's about $60, but some time ago they were available for about $45 or so. So probably there could be more discounts, but actually this model, as far as I know, is really popular in China and they are almost sold out. And now let's have a closer look. As you can see, package is totally eco-friendly, so it will satisfy even Swedish schoolgirls. Recycled cardboard, no polygraphy, but looks pretty stylish, I can say. But of course inside there is some plastic. It's unavoidable. So in this plastic tray you will have case, and earpieces were placed here, but of course now I store them in case. Also you will have 3 additional pair of tips, micro USB cable for charging, and manual. Just basic simple manual in Chinese and English with description of basic functions and whatever you will need. In terms of design, they are nice. Of course, you know, you can understand that FiiO and their sub-brand have experience. Case is really slim and sleek, looks attractive. It has pretty strong magnets, so nice clamping force. And inside you will find both earpieces, so left one and right one. As usual, case is also used to charge them. Here you will see indicator, so if you put them back, charging will start, and this LED indicator will blink. So now it's blinking 2 times, and after that it's delay, so it's 50% of charge. 4 blinks means full charge, and 1 is no charge at all. So here are earpieces themselves. So as you can see, they are really small, really slim, sleek and stylish looking. Inside there is 6mm dynamic drivers and pretty sophisticated schematics. Here used recent Qualcomm chip for the Bluetooth, so they support Bluetooth 5.0, they support SBC, AAC and aptX codecs, so at least aptX. Actually it's better than vast majority of true wireless models on the market. They also using some complex antenna for better connectivity. And also they have pretty stylish design. I'm not sure will video show it, but faceplate has nice gradient. It's kind of bluish, grayish, looks really attractive. Because of their small size, they are really nicely fitting into the ears, so I think almost there will be no issues with fit, even for those who have small ears. And luckily they have nice extended bores with good lip for holding the tips and protective grill, and they're using regular tips, so they're there is no need in using some special tips like with some other true wireless models, no need in finding better fit. They just fit in nicely and providing sound isolation a bit above average, so I think it's really good. They are water and sweat protective, so IPX5. Of course, you can't go swimming with them, but at least they won't be destroyed during your high load workout when you will be sweating. As you can see here, there is LED indicator, and they are now in pairing mode, so it's blinking rapidly. They also have touch sensors, so they are touch sensitive. You just press it firmly and you can change volume by single press, by double press on one earpiece. You will what you will, right earpiece it's play pause if I remember right, left one is I don't remember actually, voice assistant or something like that on next track. Oh no, next and previous track is when you tap and hold, so just in the manual you can see it. Pretty convenient in terms of putting in and removing. I wanted to say installation, but installing them in 2 years, it's not the correct way to name it. They also really holding charge really well, so in the technical specifications named 7 hours of music listening from one charge. I got more than 5 during tests, but I think it depends. And also case can charge them 3 times more, so about 20-21 hour of work with case charging. As usual, you can use one earpiece while charging other in the case, and also you can switch between which of these earpieces will be active, left one or right one. It's pretty convenient to better distribute the charge or to improve the connectivity, because it's always a good idea to have active earpiece from the side where you will be holding the source. But I got no issues with connectivity, no shuttering, no distortions, and up to about 8 meters of stable connection. But it's also depending on the amount of the electromagnetic noise around you. So in some big city, I think there could be a bit worse situation with connection quality, but in my small and calm city I've got no issues. And of course about the sound, I thought for quite a long time what player should I use in this review for examples, but then I decided that of course it should be FiiO's M5. So ultra portable small earphones for smallest and ultra portable player. For like $150 or so, you can create nice setup for your physical exercises, for daily commute. If you get a wristband, you can carry it everywhere. So nice and small, cute setup. As you can see, let me show it. As you can see, earphones are connected, and letter A means that here used aptX. So I need also to mention that there is a slight background noise present when the sound starts playing, but for me it's really quiet, and for me it's not an issue. But actually it's typical for all true wireless models, with few exceptions like AirPods or Huawei or FlyPods Lite, or what was the name of that model. All other true wireless have slight background noise, but for me it's not an issue, and when music starts playing, this noise is audible only during quiet places, and it's really quiet. So in terms of sound tuning, they make these earpieces a bit on the warmer side of things, and this gives them nice, engaging and organic representation. Here used 6mm dynamic driver and special digital signal processor that adapt the sound to this driver to achieve the best sound quality. So it's not randomly created earphones. It's precisely and thoughtfully tuned earpieces. So I think you understand that it's really cool thing. Of course, I'm kidding here, but anyway. So bass is accented, but at the same time it's not too slow and it's not overweighted. It's just like, good accented low frequencies that adding a touch of warmth and making everything more solid in terms of representation. It's like adding a bit of fat everywhere, and it's adding a bit of body to the instruments, it's adding a bit of weight to vocals, especially male ones. But bass is nice, engaging, it has good depth, not super deep, because I think mainly because of actually aptX codec. It's truncating frequencies on the lows and on the treble. And anyway, it has normal depth and it's good controlled all over the whole spectrum, and it's pretty good in texturing. Not superb, it's not like dry dynamic bass. It's like a good bit bass heavy dynamic drivers. And as an example, I will use a track that I often use. Well, it's Musica Nuda and No Sunshine, and acoustic double bass here sounding really great. It's accented and it has perfect body, and it will give a really nice sense of strings. You will hear when Ferruccio Spinetti touches the strings, when he pulls them, when he releases them, vibration of strings. So all that parts of note producing you will hear: attack, sustain, decay, and so on. And at the same time they have normal mids, not the most resolving, but still pretty good for the vocal here. And we're transitioning softly to the mids. Mids are normal. They are not super resolving. No, it's not hybrid model, but resolution is okay for dynamic drivers. They are not trying to make a focus on the micro detalization. They are a bit accenting macro dynamics, so some explosions, some emotions highlighting present here. Explosions, blasts, some drum kicks, it's a strong part here. Imaginary stage is a bit below average in width and in depth, but separation is normal and they are pretty good in representing everything in 3 dimensions. Actually, even width I can probably name average, not below average, but average. So pretty good spacious sound. Not something superb, something wide, but anyway pretty good. So as an example for the mids, I've got this track. It's James Brown live at the Apollo, and I think it's one of the best live performances that were ever recorded. I selected I Don't Mind, but I think all tracks from this album, it's a perfect example of work with audience and a perfect example of the emotions that artists should put into the performance. Of course, James Brown is super emotional, and he controlling the crowd from the start of this gig and to the end. If you didn't heard this record, I definitely recommend it to you. It's not some audiophilic recording, but at the same time it's recorded pretty nicely, and all that crowd noises, all that applauses, screams, they are present, and they giving this effect of presence, and these earphones with their highlighted emotions suiting this track pretty nicely. And treble, here treble is recessed, not hugely, but in a noticeable way. So it's not it's a good model for those who are treble sensitive, who don't like sharp and piercing treble, but at the same time they managed to find a proper amount of treble reduction. They are not too warm, or they can't be called treble-less. They have a bit less treble that I like, but it's still present. Of course, extension is not superb, but it's not a fault of earphones, it's more a fault of the aptX and other Bluetooth codecs. but they still really realistic. They have normal attacks and decays. No, once again, not something superb. You know, it's not rich layered treble of some wired hybrid earphones with good balanced armatures. It's just a dynamic driver, so resolution is okay for the dynamic drivers and for the Bluetooth model, but of course wired and balanced armature models will be better. You know, when I'm saying treble is good, it's not probably not an absolutely good. So we need to take into account the driver and so on. So, and of course I'd like a bit more quantity also, but I'm probably a minority here because many people don't like treble as much as I do. Still, treble here is present and it's not that recessed to be sounding muffled or softened. And as an example, I've got pretty complex track. It's Rage and Lingua Mortis Orchestra, their first recording with big symphonic orchestra, and track named Medley. It's a compilation of their different songs performed by orchestra. Pretty expected, isn't it? And as a good recorded orchestra, they require treble because a lot of instruments in the symphonic orchestra goes pretty high into the treble area. Sometimes instruments themselves, sometimes their highest overtones, but still treble is important, and these earphones playing this track, well, maybe not superb, but on the pretty good level and in a pretty enjoyable way. So to summarize everything about the sound, it's a bit warmer earphones with slightly with accented lows or with recessed trebles. It's a matter of point of view. They can be called treble accented or actually treble recessed or bass accented, just point of view. With normal resolution, good dynamics, and pretty well sounding, especially to listen on the go. And briefly a few words about comparisons. I've tested few true wireless models in last few months, and Blitzwolf model that I've tested is overperformed by this model without any exceptions. Also, Mi Audio is more bassy and a bit more weighty on the mids. It's just a different model. They are created for sport and they are tuned for the music that should pump you with bass, and that's what they do. And Huawei FreeBuds Lite or something like that that I've tested, they are more natural and with less low frequencies and more treble, so they are more naturally tuned. It's a matter of your preferences probably. And actually the closest competitor, because they share a similar signature, it's Astrotech S80 that I've tested recently. S80, I suppose. They also tuned to be a bit on the warmer side, but Astrotech offers a bit fuller and more realistic mids and a bit more accented treble, while Jade Audio is a bit better on the bass. And also you should consider that they are more affordable, because price in this segment is also important, and competition is really tight in this segment. So it was Jade Audio EW1, nicely built and pretty engaging, nicely built true wireless earphones with pretty engaging sound signature. Of course, don't expect, performance of the wired models, but true wireless models becoming better and better, and I think in like half a year or a year we'll have a really strong competitors among them. Thank you for attention.